Hello and welcome back to Terrible Lighting. So, a lot's been going on. So, and I haven't been vlogging, I haven't been doing anything. I've honestly been, it's the whole fight or flight or freeze thing, and I'm usually fight. But the last couple weeks at least, I've been straight up freeze. I've done nothing. Like, I come home from work with intentions and I wind up just scrolling through shorts on YouTube and staring at the wall until midnight, and I do nothing because I can't. I just can't do anything. Everything seems overwhelming. But anyway, over the last month or two, this is after that video I posted where I was just breaking down. I've had a couple of more humongous meteors strike my life. So things are far worse than they were when I made that video. So anyway, a while back I sent out invitations to a party tonight. Like, I was trying, and it's like I want to give myself a boost because I'm facing some dark stuff at the end of August, and it was going to be the end of July, but Matt talked to the landlord, and I wasn't aware of this, and basically made arrangements for us to be here a month past our lease. So we're all moving is one of the biggest things. Chase is moving in with his mother to save up money and stuff. Matt just inherited a house. So Chase is moving in with his mother. Matt inherited a house. And I have nowhere to go. I can't afford any place without multiple incomes by myself. I can't do it. So I wanted to throw a party because the only feasible plan I had involved living in my car in the heat of summer. And I've tried to go through every scenario I can of how to not do that, because I don't know how I'll survive. My car doesn't have AC. I come home from work every day just about to die. Like, my heart's beating like that. I'm trying to cool down just from the heat. I'm in the heat all day. So I've had other ideas what to do, but they've all fallen through. So yeah, and I wasn't going to say anything about this because honestly I anticipated this was going to happen. And that's why I was trying to get my videos way ahead, because I wanted by the end of July to have already done whatever I'm going to do and still have videos lined up, uploaded and scheduled that would just drop regardless of where I was or what I was doing. If I had the ability to edit and upload videos, I didn't know, and I still don't know. But now we're here through August, and this video will probably drop in August, though I'm filming it in July. But I have right now one more option. Like, I found one apartment, my dad found it, in Dallas, that is reasonably priced, and I drove by there last weekend their office wasn't open, but I talked to a lady who was walking her dog, and it seems like a nice place. I was expecting bullets to be flying, because you find someplace that cheap, there has to be something wrong with it. Like, there has to be a reason it's that cheap, where I actually could afford it. So right now I'm trying, like, I haven't given up. I'm not going to give up, even if I have to live in my car. That doesn't mean life is over. It just means life is really hard. So yeah, I'm trying to get an appointment to go in, I guess on my lunch break or something, and tour and apply and hopefully get in to that complex. Otherwise, I got nowhere to go. It's that simple. But my hot car, and like, I had this one idea that I thought was great, and my friend thought it was a good idea, and about basically building a little structure on a property someone owns but it didn't pan out. So it was funny though, because, well, not funny, it wasn't funny at all, because the day after I found out that was a red light, that basically the person who had the ability to make that decision honestly thought I would be better off living in my car. So I came home, got on the internet to do nothing for the rest of the day, and first thing that's in my face is the kid from Alf, that sitcom about the alien from the 80s. He and his pug were found dead in their car because they'd gone to, like, deposit a check or something, and I guess fell asleep in the car and died from heat strokes. And I'm like, yay! Because I'm sure it wasn't even as hot as Texas, wherever they are, unless they were in Texas, I don't even know. But yeah, so that was disheartening. It's terrifying. Terrifying is the word. I'm terrified. So yeah, I sent out invites to a party through a Facebook thing. I've made an event on Facebook, but I was frustrated because it kind of capped me off at 50. That's how many people I was inviting to this thing. There are people who did not get their invitations, who I wanted to get their invitations. It's my friend Zach is calling it my suicide party. And, he's not far off. But it's not. I'm not planning to kill myself. I'm just afraid that I won't survive. But, anyway, so my idea is that I just need this boost. I need to, because just the conclusion I've come to is that I'm a paper plate human. Like, I get filled up, people take what they want off of me and throw me out. Like, once I'm no longer of use, I go in the garbage. That's how I'm feeling right now. Like, I even have a close relative who found out how bad it was and cut off all contact. I didn't even ask for help, just, oh, well, Glenn's over. No need to answer the phone or respond to any text messages from him anymore. I don't want to see him go down the drain, so I just won't be there. And all I need is cheerleaders. If I can survive extreme weather, I will get through this. And that's worst case scenario, because I am still trying to find an actual place to live. But if I don't have the money, I can't. And that's what's frustrating, like, I type into a Google search or in apartments.com and all that, I put my minimum as 500. I'll see ads. Oh, apartment starting at $500 a month. Really? Click on it. What's the lowest one? $1,200 a month. I mean, my third of the rent right now is $850, and I can't go higher. And I can't pay 3/3 of the rent, for sure. If it's, I don't know. So, anyway, so idea for the party was, I want to see everybody who I've ever thought loved me, everyone who I have ever loved, and from all eras of my life, which is why I think Zach calls it my suicide party. Like, he didn't even know what I was going through when I sent out those invitations. But there were some people I couldn't track down, and then some people I did track down, but I was too in frozen mode for the last 2 weeks to go to the no trouble at all and extend an invitation to them. So I'm disappointed. I know I won't be seeing some people, but there are some people, like, because to me it's like, if people show up, it means I'm not a paper plate human. It means they're not done with me, right? It means they haven't given up on me. Or just stopped caring altogether because I'm no longer someone they have a use for. Because, in theory, proving to myself that I am not a paper plate human will give me the boost I need to make this transition, whatever it is, and get through it. And then I have a plan for, my plan, it doesn't matter. If I'm in my car, if I'm in a cheap apartment, 1 year from the end of August, I will be in a very different place. And I'm not talking about heaven or hell. I'm talking about just, like, the novel that has been chronically delayed, that's about to come out, but it's on me this time because I can't unfreeze myself to do the last little thing that needs to be done to get it out there. But yeah, I'm going to put all of my energy into that, into getting that out in front of people, and that's not the only thing. Like, I'm going to put all of my energy into changing my situation. And, if I have this party, which is tonight, by the way, which I don't know if I've mentioned that yet, but if I do this thing tonight, and people do show up, if I am proven not to be a paper plate human, then I can do that. But if I do it and all it does is reinforce for me that I'm a paper plate human, that no one from the past shows up, no one from my family shows up, which I already know isn't going to be the case, but, just, it's not going to make me give up. It's just going to make me accept that I'm a paper plate human, that was my thinking. And that it will be easier for me to just cut everyone out and focus on me, and focus on my books and sales and turning my life around without worrying about other people, without even bothering to stay in contact, because people are just going to throw me in the garbage anyway. But I'm not bitter. But I feel like I have a very solid group of people in my life, a solid friend group. But I always feel like that until the rug gets yanked out from under me. Already there are people I thought I would trust forever who I will never trust again. Like, it's been a very difficult year. But, despite one relative deliberately ghosting me after finding out how precarious a situation I was in. I had a relative, a cousin, who I haven't seen or spoken to since a family reunion years ago, who's literally driving all the way here from Tennessee. And my response is, yay, I still have a family. I don't know why she's doing that. Like, because there literally is no other reason to do that. Other than thinking that I am worth the trip. So already one person in my family doesn't think I'm a paper plate human. And that's already giving me a boost, Like, because I don't know what a lot of people in my family think of me. Like, I know what, except from, like, what they post on Facebook about all the people Jesus hates, and, like, I'm included in all of those people. And that's all I see from my family on the internet. They don't much reach out. I have a couple cousins who've reached out once or twice in the past 5 years. And I still talk to my dad, who lives in Costa Rica. That's pretty much it, though. But yeah, so already I'm feeling like, okay, at least one person doesn't think I'm a paper plate human. There's a couple of other friends who said they would be coming to this party, but, we'll see if they do, is the thing. Like, or if I'm going to get blown off as a paper plate. Oh well. Not a big deal. But it's also, I love having get-togethers with friends. And, like, I always have a big birthday party. We always have a big Christmas party. The reality is, I'm not going to be able to do those things this year. So it's kind of like this is my last party for the foreseeable future. So, like, I've bounced between excited and horrified that I've done this, that I've invited people to this party without telling them what's up, because I don't want to. I don't want people to be focused on the crap I'm going through. I just want to love fest. I just want to be surrounded by people who I have mutual love for, and I just want to have a happy memory to cling to, something to keep me going, so I can get in a position where I can have birthday parties and Christmas parties again. And I would love to reconnect with people who haven't even been in my life for a long time, just because, life takes people in different directions. It's not always like a bad thing when people leave your life. It's not always personal. It's not always even an event. It's more often than not gradual. But yeah, so that's going on. I don't know if I'm gonna vlog at the actual thing or not. I have to get things cleaned up. I have to go buy some chips. I mean, that's the thing I'm worried about with my cousin who's coming from Tennessee. Is that, you know, and I reread the description of my party in the invite because I'm like, I hope she didn't get the idea that this is actually worth coming to. Like driving from Tennessee to Richardson in a day. And I don't even know where she's going to be staying. I'll have to figure that out. She won't be staying in her car. Drives all the way from Tennessee just for my party. My no event party, you know? Like, I'm just worried she'll be very disappointed. Like she'll be just sitting there saying, why did I drive all the way to Richardson for this? But she won't know how much it means to me that she did. Because I haven't told anybody. I've told maybe 2 or 3 friends some of what's up. Like, but it's because I don't want people to know. And if I do wind up living in my car, I don't want people to know. But, you know, here I am saying it all with bad lighting on YouTube. In the interest of this being an honest chronicle of my life, this is a big moment in my life. It wouldn't make any sense to not vlog about this, especially on the day of this this party that I would have invited way more people to, while still being very selective. You know, like, I would like for any of my cousins to show up from both sides of my family. Like, I would love it if they somehow just got word when because I don't have contact info, because I lost all the contact info on my phone, and I posted on social media asking relatives and friends, hey, send me your phone numbers and everything, because my phone, when I switched over, ate them. It just wasn't saved in the cloud somehow. Like 3 numbers were out of all of my contacts, and I'm like, why? And why those 3? It's just very weird. But none of my family replied to that, so I just haven't had contact info. But I'm not bitter again. So yeah, anyway, what time is it? The party starts at 8, it is 4:20. It's 4:20, folks. Let's, but it's not going to be that kind of party. But yeah, you know, and there's also, you know, the people who did post that they're going on the invite who won't show up, and there's people who didn't post that they're going or that they weren't or anything who possibly will show up. Like, I don't know who's going to be at this thing, but literally the more the merrier. Because if it wound up just being my core present day friend group, I would still have enjoyed the party, but it would have made me feel like Paper Plate Human confirmed. No one from the past is coming, and all of these people are very soon to be done with you. But yeah, so I mean, my mind's going around in circles. I don't know. I just we will see how it goes. I already have at least one person showing up saying I am not a paper plate human, And maybe that's enough, you know? Like, maybe I just need one person to say, I haven't seen you or spoken to you in years, but you matter to me enough that I'm getting in my car this morning in Tennessee and driving to Richardson, Texas. I mean, I feel like she's getting ripped off. Honestly. But I hope she has fun. It would be cool if some other cousins showed up too. But we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I'm a wee bit emotional because I'm losing my mind, folks. Like, this is the weirdest time for my YouTube channel to start actually getting views because I'm going through such a hellish little bump. And then things keep getting worse. But it's all temporary, and I will be getting through this. It's just really scary because obviously, the idea of having full-time employment and being unable to afford an apartment is terrifying. And you know that I have to live in a car that's on its last legs, or its last wheels. I don't know. It's a horrifying thought. And that I didn't do anything wrong, you know? That's what makes it, like, it makes me angry. Because it shouldn't be that way. Like, I have a friend, and he and his girlfriend, who has 2 jobs, are also trying really hard to find a place to live, and they have 3 incomes between them. And I have other people where they find out, oh, I'm going to be moving at the end of August, and I don't have any roommates, and they, without prompting, are just like, well, what are you going to do, be homeless? Because everybody knows you can't live alone. You can't live alone unless you make a whole lot of money. And I don't make bad money for what I do, like, at least, you know, the way things used to be. I don't make bad money. I have not just a full-time job, but a good full-time job that should afford me the ability to support myself, to get my car put in the shop, to pay rent, to have savings. But I'm going to stop rambling for now. Like, I feel like I've brought you all up to speed, and I'm going to get ready for this party, and I'm going to stop being frozen and get things done. You know, I'm going to take 3 days off near the end of the month, just to get everything packed up, because there's literally no time. I don't have the time or the energy after work to get anything ready to be moved. So I need those 3. It'll be actually 5 days, because I'm going to take off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, then have Saturday. Yeah, Saturday would be moving day, but then I still have Sunday to, I guess, just kind of breathe wherever I wind up. To just kind of adjust to my new life. But yeah, so anyway, that's all I'll say for now. I'm not going to end the vlog here, because whether I vlog at the party or not, I am going to at least come back and let y'all know how it went. So yeah, I'll see you in a minute. Well, that was a really long minute, because, I mean, for you it was mere seconds. For me it was 23 days. So, you know, speaking of being frozen, And I'm not going to go on too long, so I say. I mean, the video is already almost half an hour long, so I'm going to try to be very brief, even though I could go on and on and on about any little point I'm about to make. But yeah, so the party was great. It was a very good idea. I'm glad I did that. Even though, like, then I feel this bears mentioning that there was one person before the party who let me know, in no uncertain terms, let me know that to them I was in fact a paper plate human. And, without even knowing, it's not like we were discussing that. But yeah, that hurt a lot, but I didn't let it crush me. I hope I didn't even let it show. I just moved on because I had to, because people are coming over. But it really did make me want to shut down and just go to bed and stay there until I die. So I get there all too frequently. But having that party showed me that I was, to many people, not a paper plate human. I mean, especially, as mentioned, the cousin who drove in from Tennessee. Like, that actually happened. And she was my only relative at the party. I had a couple other really old friends who I hadn't seen in years show up. And by showing up, they are saying, you are not a paper plate human. We haven't thrown you out, it's just life. Like I said earlier, sometimes it's gradual. Just life pulls you in different directions. It's nothing personal. It's a non-event. It's just one day you realize, I haven't spoken to that friend in 5 years. How did that happen? So it was a really positive experience for me. And and I had most of my core present day friend group show up. And there were a couple of dogs. I did mention in the description, you are free to bring your dogs, because I want to be cheered up. So yeah, that was 23 days ago. And I'm trying to be brief. I'm not doing a good job of that because that's not one of my skills. I'm a loquacious fellow. But yeah, so, technically the party, there were maybe 4 people left at 6 a.m., but it lasted until 6 a.m. My cousin was the last to leave. I mean, we talked all night and caught up, and she'd been through similar things, and it was really helpful. It was almost like she was sent to speak for God and my ancestors on the other side. Like, that's how it felt. Like, I really felt like my mother was there. I really felt like my grandparents were there. I felt like just the power of that moment of my cousin making this trip and being able to relate so completely to what I was going through, and to let me know how she got through it, and that she got to certain mindsets that I find myself approaching, and I'm like, okay, so that's not just me being crazy, that's actually how this works. I'm going to get through this. It's going to be hard. I'm going to have to make very hard choices. But that's how you get to where things are better. So, again, in the interest of being brief, I will fast forward through the next 23 days. So, I have still been trying to find a place to land with no success. I went from one possible apartment to 3 possible apartments, and now it's back down to 1 because one had no vacancies, another one, the cheap price that was well within my budget turns out not to be a thing, and it was actually, I was told $750, but it really, the lowest is almost $1,300 a month, which I can't do. I also, it's like I have right now plan A, B, and C. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands here, it wasn't right, but plans A, B, and C, and kind of A and B, I'm not really, they switch places here and there, I'm not sure which one is plan A and which is plan B. I have to do a lot of math to figure that out as I go. But yeah, one of my plans is, of course, getting an apartment. Another of my plans is I'm going to live in my car. And I worked that out. Like, the other night I figured out a way to, a probable way to make that work to where I'm less likely to die, and it's, I don't know. And then there's another plan, which is plan C, which is far more drastic, but it's survival. And it wouldn't be living in my car, but it also wouldn't be living anywhere near where I'm at right now. It would be starting a whole new life, which arguably I will be doing anyway. But yeah, I've still been fighting with freezing. But it's 23 days later and I'm finally filming the conclusion to this vlog. But the last 2 weekends, I think I made a lot of progress. Like last weekend, I did a lot of, 2 weekends, I don't know how to gauge it. Like, not the weekend we just finished, the weekend before that, I did a lot of just driving and thinking and sort of planning in my head and going and looking at places and, just doing the necessary things. And this past weekend, I got a whole lot done. I even edited a Conversations in Sunglasses video that I've been sitting on for months. I have a few videos I just haven't edited in months that are there. So I pushed myself and I started looking things up and writing down numbers and I put together my, okay, if I have to live in my car, plan. So I feel like I accomplished a lot. I got unfrozen and I'm trying to keep myself unfrozen, which is why I'm doing this. And I'm going to immediately edit this, and for the first time maybe ever, well not ever, but it was the first time this year, this video will go up the day I finished it. Welcome to real time. But yeah, so things are still hard and terrifying. I still have until the end of August. And I realized Labor Day comes right after, like immediately after, the very next day after my 5 days off is Labor Day, so it's 6 days off. I have 3 days to recover and, 2 days. I have a full 2 days, Sunday and Monday, to recover and adjust to wherever I've landed. But yeah, I will have to make the call. I will have to make the decision about a week before that, like the week before I move, because I'm going to have to order some things. I'm going to have to spend money on my new life, but I have to know what that new life is, and I still have to have an address to receive things that I order online. So I have about 2 weeks to find something at this point. And I'm still trying. I'm not giving up. I have a lot of plans. And once I know which direction I'm going, I'll talk more about exactly what I'm doing and where it's taking me. Like, what my goal is, because I have a 1-year goal, and that's what I'm trying to hammer down over the next couple weeks. It's like, no matter where I land, how in 1 year am I going to be in a much better place than I have ever been in my entire adult life? That is the goal. And I will succeed. It's just a matter of which path do I have to walk to get there in a year. Because I can hold my breath, I can hyper focus, I can push through and give it all of my fight for a year if I know there's an end, but I have to have a plan. And I'm solidifying plans for A, B, and C, so that whichever one I'm at, it's not going to take me off guard. I'm going to be like, alright, this is the reality now, this is my life for the next year, and I've already got it mapped out, and here's how it's going to work. So, I'm still scared, I'm still sad, I'm still angry, I'm still all of these things I don't like feeling, but I have faith that August 2025 is going to be a much brighter time for me. So that's it. I literally there's so much I could say right now, but I've already, this vlog is way too long. Maybe not. I don't know where I'm, by whose standards, I don't know. But yeah, so that's my update right now, and I'm going to try to keep doing vlogs weekly. I slacked off the last couple weeks because freeze. And I'm going to try to get my other weird videos I do on this channel going again. I'm going to try to get... No, I need to stop using that word try. I'm not giving myself any more permission to fail. So I'm going to keep my weekly vlogs going. I'm going to get those other video series I do on here going again and keep them going. I'm going to get The Thing in the Attic published, and because that's a giant part of my plan. And then I'm going to have a very successful, a very challenging year, but a very successful year, and that is my truth. So if you are so kind and so inclined, please like and subscribe, or just subscribe, I don't know. If you don't like this video, you don't have to lie for me, but leave a comment down below if you've got something you want to say. I always reply to comments, unless they're mean-spirited, I guess. Like, I won't reply to your mean-spirited comment, but that doesn't mean you have to agree with me, Like, there are nicer, you can look through the comments, there are people who have said stuff that other people might have interpreted as mean-spirited, and I just had an interesting conversation with them. So, feel free to drop comments, and check out my writing and everything, GlennSladeClarkJr.com. Is it that I just don't know how to stop talking? I just keep talking. But, yeah, so the end. That's the end of this vlog episode. And I will talk to y'all later.